Hi folks, sorry, I'm just trying to negotiate this road at the moment. I'm not ignoring this. There's quite a few buses in here just now. Hopefully, a chance to show you them. Because I'm going to stand on this little grass verge over here. Right, we're here at Broxden now. Another hunter's coaches from that Alloa there. Oh, that's just a little one. Now, we've got the Evator on LSK 821 on the M8 to Glasgow. I'm going to get an M8 back to Stirling at 10 to 8. We'll be live streaming here till around about 7:30, 7:45 roughly. YG25FFA, I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Yutong Flixbus, I don't know what route it's on. Drax Days, did you take the 192 there? I certainly did, mate. That one there with its hazards on. SJ23HVG, I've been on that one a few times. I think I did one of my 090 Edinburgh to Glasgow routes on that one, if I remember rightly. Bingley says, hello, how you doing, mate? Good to have you back. And he says, looks strange without the Flixbus logos. It does, doesn't it? I don't think it's actually had the logos applied to it yet, to be honest. I've never seen that one before. I genuinely haven't. 200 EV just pulling away. We'll see that one coming back in a few minutes, so I'm not bothered about that. What we've got here, Ember Yutong T14 SG25 HYZ. Another Flixbus SG24 UHT on the 091 to Glasgow Airport. 091 service. That one there, I think, is the 093 heading to Inverness. Although, I'm sorry, I'm having to look around to see when it's safe to go, because where I'm standing, there's that many different departures that you've really got to have eyes on the back of your head if you don't want to end up being squashed like a sausage. No, that's not the 093, that's 094 to Edinburgh. That's SG23HVF, I think. F for Frank. And obviously that one's SG24 UHT on the 091 to Glasgow Airport. I think we'll stand down about here. I don't normally stand there because usually I'm doing a lot of signalling stuff. I'm usually over there where the Evator is further down, but we'll head over there in just a moment. Certainly getting steps in here, that's for sure. And it's getting a bit colder, so I'll be fastening my jacket up, so if the picture does disappear for a second, that'll be why. I gave my phone a little charge on my power bank while we're at Hull Beef Park and Ride, but I disconnected it as soon as I got on the coach. What percentage are they sitting on anyway? 69%, that'll do it just now. I can always reconnect it when we're heading back to Stirling. That's the 192 to Aberdeen there. SG23HVG, that's the one I came up on. I'm sitting about 2/3 of the way back. Oh, someone needs to get our car looked at if there's something like that. So, we've got an 091 to Glasgow here, as I said. I have no idea where the Yutong's going. I suspect that could be Inverness. I could be wrong. So, we've got 094 HYF, SJ23 HYF to Edinburgh, and HYG, SJ23 HYG that is, on the 192 to Aberdeen. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll cross over again. We've got the M8 going to Dundee there, but that'll turn, yep, that's turning in there as I thought. And Ember E8 over there, which we will be doing some more of that on Thursday. Well, that's the plan anyway. I still haven't got anything booked for that yet, so I can't confirm anything, but hopefully I'll be able to confirm it later on. I think it might be better to move a bit further down where the Stranber's just pulling away from. Because there's such a build up of buses here, you've got to really watch where you're going. M10 to Inverness, SF74YNG. Try and get the fleet number for that for you in just a moment. Can't really quite make out the fleet number for the M8, but I will try and get that as well, if I can. That is more likely going to be my coach back to Stirling, because when he goes up to Dundee and then takes his break before heading back, that will probably be my transport. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the messages. Drink says, it looks busy there, mate. It is, if I'm being honest. I'm quite glad I came up, actually, to be honest. I'm planning to live stream here till about 7:30. I've got unlimited internet on my phone, so I don't have to worry about that. Managed to get a special deal for 6 months with my operator. So, that's why I can do all these live streams. And hopefully that deal will continue beyond that when it gets to May or June time. Anyway, enough about my network situation. Drink says Volvo coach. Thing was it's going to take a wee. Oh, it's going to take a wee. Yeah, I needed to know that, mate. I'm going to take a leak. Yeah. It says be right back, and it looks strange, and I haven't seen that bus before too. Says Jack. He also says Ember on the E3. Because I thought the 191 goes to Glasgow. It does. It goes all the way to Glasgow Airport now. They've extended it. Yes, that I was right. That is an 093 Flix bus without the decals, as we'll call it. And it's got a sign on the windscreen saying where it's off to. Oh, it's Inverness. I was right enough. I was guessing Inverness. It's back in 69. Yep, back in the summer of 69. Referring to that old joke again that they were talking about down at Holbeath. It says, even though I wasn't born then. No, I wasn't born then either, to be honest. Jack says, M10 goes to Inverness to Glasgow. I think, yes, it does, you're right. M90 is Edinburgh to Inverness. I won't bore you with all the places it stops at, but this is one of them. Thing was this, it looks like a holiday bus park. It could be, possibly could be doing with a revamp this place, or maybe something, I don't know. It says, will you go to the London bus event at Broxden next year? London bus event? I didn't even know there was one. If I can find out when that is, I will be there for sure. Jack says, I was about to say I'm a bit worried about your battery on your phone. Nah, it's alright, it's all good. Got my power bank in my bag, it's still got about 3/4 of a charge in it. All good. Plus I could have given it a charge on the coach if I wanted to, but for the sake of time it would be on charge on the coach. It wasn't really worth it. What I tend to do is, if I'm doing a full video route, I tend to do them on a vehicle that's got USB, then I can connect it to the USB, keep it charged up. That's what I do. That's how I can do videos that are like 3-4 hours long. Plus, I've got plenty of memory on this phone, and I can also use my tablet as well. I can also keep that connected. I don't have my tablet with me, but I can keep that connected on the USB, and it's got an SD card in it as well. 2 terabyte. Yep. It's got two 1 terabyte SD cards in it, because the tablet can take 2, because it doesn't have an SD card in it, you see. It doesn't, not an SD card, it doesn't have a phone card in it. SIM card, that's what I mean. Doesn't have a SIM in it, so I've put 2 SD cards in it. Anyway, he says on East Glasgow Airport now on the 091. He says Freon says get them to honk. Unfortunately I can't force them to, mate. Sorry. Jack was saying wasn't born in 1969 either, and this is Alba. Come to here and I'll join the stream and call it buses with you. You'd be more than welcome, mate. You'd be more than welcome. Thing says, you still friends with Aaron? And he went, sorry for asking. I'll provide updates on that when it's available, mate. I can't really comment on that just now. I can't really comment on that one at the moment. I can't really comment on that situation. I'll provide updates when they're available, because at the moment there are no updates. We've got Flixbus down here. That's 091 to Glasgow, as I was saying. Is it? Yeah, it is. Freon says, Alba, you and him are so good together. I know, mate. I know. I've been watching a few of the videos back a few times. But, yes, it is personal, if I'm being honest. But we don't have any updates at the moment, I'm afraid. So, anyway, I'm hoping to have some news about that soon, hopefully. Right, let's get back into the swing of this. I'll show you the ticket office. We've got S224HWR there, that's the one that's on the M8. Oh, another Ember coming in, just as put my teeth in eventually. And we've got the 200 EV coming back. I don't actually know this, if that's the same one or not. I don't know the 7 route, if I'm being honest. I know it goes into the city centre, but that's about it. That's LC71 KWE 7B to Park and Ride, which is here, and the city centre. Drake says M8 goes Glasgow to Dundee, I think. Yes, it does. It takes about 2.5 hours from Dundee to Glasgow, so it calls at quite a few places. Inster here, Perth bus station. You've got Dunblane, Stirling. Got quite a few places it calls at. And he says it looks weird without the text on the roof. Or the 200 EV. Andrew says, hi Alba in chat again. How you doing, mate? And Jack says 2.5 hours. That's a long time. He says it is, if I'm being honest. The E3, I think it's about 1 hour and 40. 1 hour 45 or something, I think, from Dundee to Glasgow. The E1 takes quite a little while from Kinross to Aberdeen. I tend not to use Ember if I'm going to Aberdeen, because they do tend to stop at quite a few places, like Forfar, Brechin, Montrose. Well, no, they don't stop at Montrose, I don't think. I think it's just Forfar, Brechin and Stonehaven. So, we've got the M10 to Glasgow just coming in now, and it's London calling. Now, which one is that again? YX69 LCF. We saw LCE earlier on. Well, there's LCF. London Calling. Apologies folks, I'm going to try and get away from these lunatics that have just suddenly appeared. Sorry for saying lunatics, but they're behaving like idiots. I'll cross over again. I don't know where they appeared from, but if they see that I'm doing a live stream, no matter what platform it's on, they're going to try and behave like idiots on it. Or they're going to try and get on it no matter what. No matter how much I say no, they're going to try and get on it, so I'm not having it. Right, well, as I said, that's YX16 LCF. It's actually 50407 on the M10 to Glasgow. I think I've done the M10 route on the channel. Oh, sorry. I do like the panoramas. I don't know what's going to happen to these ones once the M11 and M20 is taken off. They'll probably get resprayed, I would imagine, possibly. We might get the Megabus decals removed off them. I'll catch up your messages now. E1 goes to random bus stops, like Rosyth is one of them. Yeah, I was looking at that one for an option for getting home tonight, because I thought E1, I could catch that down to Rosyth, jump the X55 to Dunfermline, then an X24 to Larbert H2 back home. It's a lot of changing, I know. It's 3 different changes. But I've changed my mind. Because we're doing a live in Glasgow tomorrow, I'm going to do some pre-recorded stuff in Glasgow as well. I'm not doing any pre-recorded stuff here. Didn't do any at Holbeath either, because I thought a live would be better for you guys. So anyway, yeah, I can still hear them as well. They're not that far away from me, don't worry about it. I'm not going to let them get on this. Andrew says Edinburgh buses are so quiet. Yeah, that's true, they are. E1 goes to random bus stops, like Rosyth. I've already read that one. Thing says I can still hear them. Yes, so can I, mate, unfortunately. Edinburgh is the only Scottish bus operator to only operate electric buses or diesel ones. That's right, they are. M9 Aberdeen, Perth, Dundee, just coming in. Volvo Panorama. Keeping a watch out to see where that lot have gone. They're around the other side, that's why I'm down this end. So I do apologise if you're not seeing the vehicles at the bus stop, the like Flixbus or Ember at the bus stop. It's because that lot are down there, so we'll see them coming in. And that one is YX21NM. I don't think it's got a fleet number, that one. If it has, I can't see it from here. So yeah, as I was saying, we also have in the messages, we've got been on London Calling, love it. Yeah, I've been on it a few times as well. Thing that says London Calling sounds good. It's actually a song. Actually, I think it was the Jam that sang it, if I remember rightly. Thing that says, I don't know what that is, and this is Megabus, Broxden Panorama. Jack says what happened there, and some already have. Thing says they sound angry and scared you. I wouldn't go near them. I was actually scared for you there. No, there's no need to be scared for me, mate. Honestly. I'm not saying I can handle myself, you know. I mean, I'm not Tyson Fury or Mike Tyson or anybody like that, you know. But anybody comes near me and tries anything funny, I'll just say, look, back away. I'll warn them to back away. And if I have to cut the stream and then call the police, then I will. I wouldn't want to do that, but if I had to do that, then I would. England says there's a lot of creeps at night time. Yes, I agree. And Jack says, Albert, did you see any Citylink buses have the Christmas livery? Yes, I did see one now. Where was it? I think it might have been Glasgow on the 900. Hopefully, fingers crossed, and I will literally do that. Fingers crossed, we'll see that tomorrow. Thing says, or as Stagecoach called their buses, Tiresome Fury. Yes, I remember that. There was a megabus going around that had what was it again? Only Fuels and Horsepower. I saw that. Now that's the only thing about this park and ride place, is if there's no movement detected, the lights dim. But if you walk under them, they get brighter again. Now, so if it gets darker still because these lights dim, then I do apologise, but obviously can't do anything about it. I can keep walking under them, but well, as soon as I move, they get brighter again. So yeah, that's better. Andrew says aye, and Jack says Glasgow on the 900, mate, and my fingers are crossed too. Then says that's a 9700 DD Tiresome Fury. That's right, it is. I can't remember the last time I saw it. Mind you, I haven't really been paying much attention to the names of the vehicles recently. You want to see inside the park and ride site? I'll show you inside it. I'm not going in for any particular reason. Oh, it's warm in here. You've got toilets there. I ain't going in there, that's the ladies. Ooh, I'm a lady. We're watching too much. What's it called? Little Britain. No. That's the gents. And here you've got the ticket room. This is usually roasting in here. And it's no different tonight. It's alright in here. Yeah. Go back outside now. Don't want to be in there when I'm doing it. I'm live streaming. It doesn't look right. It's open until about 9 o'clock, I think. Thereabouts. Oh, sorry. Operational hours for toilets are Monday to Thursday, 6:45am to 9:15pm, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 9am to 6:30pm. Out with this, please use the petrol station toilets. Well, the petrol station isn't far. You've always got the famous M over there, Mackie D's. There's a little pathway behind where these cars are parked that takes you down towards the petrol station. I've only been down it a few times. I wouldn't recommend it at night time unless you've got a torch on you. Maybe a personal alarm. That's something that I don't actually carry as a personal alarm. Maybe I should do. I do carry a torch at times, but I need to remember to get batteries for it. SG24UJN on the E3, that is off to Glasgow, I think. No, it's Dundee. That's a Dundee one. Right, let's catch up with the messages again. Jack says connect to Solid Buchanan. Well, the thing was his Solid Buchanan, and then he says, did you hear the news about Buchanan, sorry. Andrew says, going to Glasgow tomorrow, might bump into you, but don't worry, I won't shortbread, mate. I don't mind, honestly. If you see a dude bus spotting at the entrance to the bus station, or randomly walking around the place, standing at random stances that are not in use for buses, then that'll be me. You'll probably recognise the voice anyway. And Jack says, what news? And he says, SBT wants to build flats and shops and a new bus station and some trees and stuff at this area. Andrew says chippy for me, chips and a burger. Thingway says. Jack says that's C3 to Dundee. Yes, it is. Well, yes, I did hear the news about that, and if I'm being honest, I can't say I'm too pleased about it, because Glasgow bus station is absolutely brilliant for spotting. Why is there the need for a new bus station? What's wrong with the one they've got? Nothing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the bus station they've got in Glasgow, you know? There's just no need for it. I mean, why waste all that money? Build something that they don't need. I mean, I know there's a shortage of housing, but surely they can find the house in somewhere else, you know? There's no need to pull down a perfectly good bus station. As we see YX21NM pull away on the M9 to Aberdeen. What we could be doing with is getting some of these potholes fixed here. I'll treat myself to a new pair of trainers. Not bad. 12 quid on Amazon. Free delivery as well, because I've got Amazon Prime. So yeah, I've also got another pair in the house, but I think the other pair are black. I haven't actually worn them yet because they only arrived a couple of days ago. I'm actually got a package coming from Amazon tomorrow, so hopefully it arrives before I leave the house, which I'm thinking is probably going to be around about 9, half 9 tomorrow. I won't be staying too late in Glasgow tomorrow night, because I'm going up to visit a mate tomorrow night, and I'm not going to let him down, not by changing anything. I'm just having a look to see if these numpties are still here. Don't worry, I'll be careful. In fact, I'll cross over just to be on the safe side. I don't see anyone. There's just a guy waiting for the bus, so over at the Flix bus stands way over there. So I think they've gone, thankfully. I'm probably going to be costing Perth and Kinross Council a fortune in their electric bill with this. The lights going up and down. I don't care, we pay our council taxes. Right, let's catch up with the messages again. Yeah, the CityLink bus off to... Well, it was M9 Aberdeen, mate. It was Aberdeen it was going to. It's old and isn't modern. Okay. Well, I don't think it's that bad. Drax's question, is there going to be an E12 from Ember? We'll get to that in just a moment. The thing was this, but it does the job, so you're right. It does. It says, if they lowered the bleeping prices of modern houses, they wouldn't have a shortage. They got E1 to E11, I wonder if there's going to be an E12. Going by, Drax just sent in a message. He says, I want to know if there's going to be an E12 coming out soon, or is that never going to happen? I think it will happen. There's nothing on social media yet, because Ember are always looking to expand. I was talking to one of the drivers on the E1, when was it? About 2 weeks ago. And he said they're looking at a few other routes. Possibly one into North Fife. Potentially one to Oban. We don't know, there's nothing confirmed yet. Yeah, I think one to Oban would be nice. It would certainly be handy, that's for sure. It would be handy having one come through Tillicootree where I live, because I would use it over McGill's any day. McGill's would be getting a bye-bye from me if Ember came through my way. But to be honest, there's nothing confirmed at the moment. Thing says, be right back. No problem, mate. He says, the bleeping prices made me laugh too. Yes. Yeah, well, I tend not to swear. I only said the S-H-I-T, or S-H-A-T as I put it, because I was wanting to emphasise how I was feeling, you know, because when my mate, who's the bus driver at Stagecoach in Dunfermline, he did scare the utter bleep out of me that time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then, well, the story goes that I was bus spotting at Hallbeath Park and Ride one day, and my mate actually drove past. I didn't even know he was there, and he honked the horn of the Scania, which has an air horn, and it scared the seven bells out of me, let's just say. Seven bells out of someone, that's a more friendlier way of saying it. Now that's the Perth and Kinross Council Ford Transit, I think, isn't it? Yeah, I thought that was Glenfarne Community Transport with their electric Ford Transit that they use on private hires, well, shorter private hires, but it's not. I would have taken a picture of it and sent it to them, because I'm usually the one that takes pictures of them on social media, or for social media for them. I don't do it all the time, but I do it maybe once or twice a week whenever I see one of their vehicles. I will say to them that they can use it for whatever they want. I'll catch up with the messages shortly. Ember did say that they were not going to reuse the number E2. Now, don't ask me why, but I haven't a clue. I haven't a Scooby. Bit silly if you ask me, but they used to have, when they first started out, they started off with just 5 drivers and 2 vehicles. SE70 was one of their first ones. I can't remember the full reg. It was SG70. No, it was SG, I think. And that was one of their first ones. Sounds like something just coming in. So basically they started off with just 2 vehicles and 5 drivers, and they used to do E1 from Edinburgh to Dundee, and E2 was Dundee to Edinburgh, or the other way around, I can't remember. And that's LSK 514. They then decided to combine the 2 runs into one, and then they extended it all the way to Aberdeen. There's now only E1 duplicates to Dundee, which is normally operated, which used to be operated by the T12s, because they don't have the puff to do the full route all the way to Aberdeen. That's why they've now got T14s, because they've got the range power-wise to go from Aberdeen all the way to Edinburgh. They've got a depot in Aberdeen. I'm hearing rumours they're looking at expanding one in Inverness. I reckon they might even put a service in from Inverness to Ullapool, because CityLink has the 961 service there that D&E coaches run. I reckon they might do that as well. That could be another possibility for an E12, who knows. I'm not wanting to start rumours here, but I'm not one that believes in doing that. As we see, that's LSK 514 on the M9 there. I promise I will have a look through your messages in a little moment once I've done saying what I'm saying, but they're also looking at, and I found this I was quite surprised to hear this, but one of the drivers told me that they're looking at possibly building a depot in Newcastle. Edinburgh to Newcastle on an Ember coach. I'll certainly be up for that, but my concession card won't allow me to travel all the way to there. It would mean I'd have to pay, because with a Scottish concession card you can only travel, well, with the disabled one that I've got, you can only travel between Scotland and direct services to Carlisle and Berwick-on-Tweed. You can't go any further than that. But I would quite happily pay from Berwick-on-Tweed to Newcastle. That's M9 to Glasgow. LSK 514, as I said.
I know exactly. For me.
However, as I was saying, I would certainly be willing to go all the way down to Berwick-on-Tweed in one of those. Definitely. I wouldn't be at all surprised if they're looking at possibly Newcastle to Carlisle, if they're looking at building a depot in Newcastle, or Newcastle to Durham. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I know they're always expanding, and to be honest, I cannot keep up. Because I vowed I would do every single Ember route that there was on the channel, for the channel. I just cannot physically keep up. You know, because they're releasing a new route practically every month. Oh, hello. So these back in. LC71KWE. I don't think this park and ride is quite as active as the Hall Beath. Right, anyway, let's get back to Draxley's Stadium. I'll read through that older messages in just a moment. But Draxley's, do you remember the E1X and E3X? I certainly do. I certainly do, mate. They withdrew those, if I remember rightly. I think I might actually have done a video on those on the channel. Or on one of them, at least one way I did. I'm sure I did. There's only one to Aberdeen. Well, in fact, we'll actually see that pulling off. SG24 UHD there. Driver actually bowing his hat. Okay. Hello pal, if you're watching. M90 to Edinburgh, which is operated by SG24 HWU, I think. Don't know why I said it that way. U? SG24 HWU, yep. 50513. No idea why I said it that way, but Drax says, what about E4X? Yes, E4X is still a thing. I intend to do that route on the channel some point next year, Easter time, I think, because I was trying to do the routes numerically, but I think I'm just going to do them as I can just now. I've already done E10. I'm not going to even bother looking at E11 at the moment. I'll be starting that at some point in the new year once I've finished E8 and E9. So, I don't know what that 092 is over there, but I think in order to see it I'm going to have to get in the street for him. Because it looks like he's about ready to go. So here might be a good spot. It's definitely a Volvo 9700. Frank says that's the M90 if you want to go back to Hall Beath. It says Edinburgh, so you can go there. Nah, I'm getting the M8 from here at 10 to 8. That's S22 HBA. Because I'm sure it was HBC that I did my 090 video on. S22 HBC it was. I noticed that some drivers kind of looked, you know, as if to say, what the hell's he doing? Yeah, I don't care, don't bother me. Andrew says, where Flixbus Depot at? They've got one at Livingston. I don't know exactly where. Jack says, M8 going to Dundee or Glasgow. It'll be the Glasgow one, mate. But Flixbus also have a depot in Aberdeen. I don't know exactly where their depots are, but I just know the places that they've got them. There's one in Aberdeen, there's one in Livingston. That's for the 090. 091's based in Shannon, I think. Or is it Johnston? They've got one at Johnston, and there's another one in Shannon. They're not far apart, they're just outside Glasgow, just west. Oh, now, mystery day trip. Yutong GT12, Loch Lomond Travel. They're owned by McGill's, because McGill's do the work for Flixbus here in Scotland. I don't know about down south, but they do in Scotland. I think they do down south as well. Because like National Express and CityLink, they get different operators to... It's a franchise, basically. different operators buy into it, you know. Andrew says Loch Lomond at Perth. No. Loch Lomond's nowhere near here, mate. Loch Lomond's just north of Glasgow on the 82 towards Balloch on the road up to Fort William. You can go to Tyndrum that way and the road splits. You can go to Fort William and Oban that way from Glasgow. Not the way you would go from here, because from here you would cut across the back road towards Combray and then pick up the 84 from Callander. I've actually got a driving licence, so I do know a few roads. I just don't have a car at the moment. That might change, hopefully, at some point. Now, on the M90 to Inverness is SF74YNJ, and hopefully we'll see Loch Lomond Travels GT12 leaving soon. Nothing else coming in at the moment. I'll try and keep up with as many messages as I can. I do apologise if I don't get your messages on the chat, guys. I'm so sorry. Andrew says, are they sharing with McGill's? I don't think anyone's sharing with McGill's, to be honest. I don't think McGill's would have that, to be honest. Loch Lomond Travel are owned by McGill's. It's like Rennie's were owned by Stagecoach. Well, in the latter days they were. So that one is YG25FFB. And it just says Loch Lomond on the side. It could be Loch Lomond Travel, LLT. It says, I mean the bus. Yeah, that vehicle is owned by McGill's. Loch Lomond Travel are owned by McGill's as a company. You might occasionally see those vehicles doing Flixbus duty if there's no Flixbus liveried vehicles available. You might also occasionally see one doing the Dundee to Edinburgh Airport run. I don't know what depot that would operate from, possibly Aberdeen. But you might occasionally also see the Dundee Edinburgh Airport vehicle, like a Mercedes Turismo, doing 093 duty, Flixbus duty. I do believe they'll have them programmed into their screens. We've got another 7B just coming down there in the distance, and then I'm going to move back to where the CityLink buses come into once we see that one. Can't believe it's coming up 7:15 already. Where is the day gone? And to say, so what happened to the CityLink Gold buses? I think some of them just got repainted, to be honest. I'm hoping to see a few Scanias tomorrow when we're in Glasgow. I'll tell you something as well once you see this one. LC71KWF, and fleet number for that one is 74016. Well, that's appropriate that an electric bus is advertising SBT for a power cut. That's actually quite good, that. Thing was, I think they got rid of it, and then someone else, Chevy, welcome to the channel. So this is the best channel, YouTube. Please like and subscribe and share the live stream. And thank you for watching. Much appreciated, mate. I wouldn't say it's the best channel. Far from it. There's a lot of channels out there that are much better than this one. This one, I still think my channel's basic compared to what other people do. But thank you. It's much appreciated. But sorry if the picture's going a bit wobbly. There we go. And then Jack says maybe he's going to Glasgow. Maybe he's going to Glasgow because he's taking her M8 to Glasgow. I don't know. And Chevy says, it's me, Mustang. Does she mean Ford Mustang? I wish I could afford a Ford Mustang, to be honest. Thing says it's not basic, yours is just unique. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, guys. I genuinely do. Genuinely do. It says, I think it's a bot because Chevy already said that. It could be. I don't know. To be honest, I don't really care. Someone says something nice, I appreciate it. They say something negative, it's water off a duck's back to me, you know. I'm the type of guy that just says sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And it's true. Right, anyway, going back to what I was saying beforehand. I was doing a quick live on the X22 between Alloa and Dunfermline, and the battery on my phone was almost ready to give out. So I had to connect it to my power bank. Someone sent a message, because the picture was going wobbly, because obviously I was travelling, it was going wobbly like that. And they said to me, "You're drunk." And I thought, no, I ain't drunk. I rarely drink. And if I do drink, I have maybe 1 or 2 pints of beer, and that's me. I'm a lightweight when it comes to beer, when it comes to getting drunk. I don't get drunk. But then they said, you're dumb, at least 4 times. And I thought, you know what, you're getting put into timeout. So I put them in timeout for 24 hours. I don't normally put someone in timeout, but if they're insulting me personally, then I will put them in timeout. You know, maybe I should do that a bit more often, but that's just me. Thingley says, are you going to Glasgow later on tonight? Not tonight, no, not tonight. I don't think I've got the energy for that tonight, to be honest. Thingley says, that reminds me of the guy who would always complain over and over again on your old videos. Yes, I remember that. I don't care, doesn't bother me. I will always moan about McGill's buses not turning up. I always say, oh, this doesn't turn up, it's really doing my head in. And if I still continue to do that, I apologise. I try not to do it, because I try to make the channel as positive as I can. Andrew says, Iron Brew? Mate, yeah, that's probably the best brew for me. Certainly when I had a car, last time I had a car was a couple of years ago, and I would say the only brew that would pass my lips is that of the iron type when I was driving, because I believe if you've got a set of car keys in your pocket, you have 0 alcohol. I'm a firm believer in that. Oh, we've got another Evator coming in. What's that? That's another M8 to Glasgow. That's the other one. What time is it? 6:45. No, I promised you I'd be streaming till about 7:30, and I am a man of my word. We will continue. And the M9 to Aberdeen there. So what Evator have we got? LSK 614. If I'm being honest, when I first got the Evators, I was a bit sceptical of them. I wasn't sure if I liked them or not, but I genuinely do. I like them. And that's LSK 512. I think they brought out the Evator as a coach version of the Evora. I think Volvo did that. They brought out the Evator as the coach version of the Evora. Now I could be wrong when I say that, but I do genuinely believe that that's what they did. I don't know if you've seen the interior of the Evator. I mean, obviously, as I'm not getting that one, it probably won't be an Evator that I get. It'll be a 9700DD. Because there was one going to Dundee, and obviously between Glasgow and Dundee, because that one is Glasgow, well, not Glasgow based, Perth based. No, sorry, that's Parks of Hamilton based at 9700DD, not this one. Well, this one could be, because it's an LSK number plate. I think LSK is Parks of Hamilton. The one that was on the M8 that we saw earlier on, that one will be doing the 5 to 7 Dundee to Glasgow trip, which gets into Glasgow at round about 9:30. I think it is. I think it's about 9:30, 20 to 10. Because I've seen it a couple of times and I've been waiting on the 10 o'clock X24 from Glasgow back to St Andrews, and I've been doing the late night spotting trips. I tend to only do the late night spotting trips in the summer. It used to be that, but now I do them in the winter as well. I don't care, as long as it's dry. I don't care if it's cold. know, it can be cold. It could be minus 20 degrees Celsius at the moment. I'd still be out here. Okay, I'd be dressed like an Eskimo. I'll be wearing a hat and gloves. I'm not wearing a hat, scarf or gloves at the moment. I don't even have my jacket fastened. It's getting colder. And I will admit I have had a cold recently. Probably due to being out in the cold. But you know what? I don't care. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy entertaining people. That's why I work on the radio at Cumbernauld FM. I work part-time there as a presenter. I just enjoy entertaining people. You know? I always enjoy making new friends as well. It's just the type of guy that I am. Anyway, that's LSK 512. Yeah, I showed you that one, didn't I? Got the Evitar there, LSK 614, and nothing else at the moment. A bit of a smell of diesel in the air. But then again, when you've got two coaches sitting there, that's hardly surprising. Right, let's get back to the messages. Anyway, says I sound like Frankenstein. Oh, okay. Jack says more Scottish Iron Brew. Yes. And Chevy says I'm a real person. I just been in hospital because I've broken my foot. Oh no, I hope you're okay, mate. I know what it's like when you break something. In fact, I could tell you a little story about that in just a moment when they see the Evitar pulling away. Because I haven't quite broken any of my two legs or arms at all yet, but what happened one time about 3 years ago, I was outside Dave's house and I went for a little walk. I was going down to the shop, I think, actually, if I remember rightly. And it was very, very icy. It was a pathway just like this one that I'm standing on just now. And the local council hadn't gritted it at all. And of course I slipped and fell. Snapped my Achilles. That was excruciatingly painful. I was virtually in the house for about 3 days. I could hardly move my leg. It was so sore. I went to A&E to get it x-rayed after speaking to NHS 24, which is like, if you're not from the UK, that's the service that we have if you need to speak to someone, if you need to speak to a nurse or a doctor. And they said to me, go straight to accident and emergency. And I mean, it was my mum who insisted on taking me there, and I'll be forever in her debt for this. She said, right, well, I'm taking you to A&E and we're going to get your leg x-rayed. We're going to get this sorted, you know. And it was my left leg, it was this one. But all good now, all fine. And when I was able to start walking again, it was like I was walking with crutches, you know. It was like that for a while. You know, obviously I'm not mocking anyone that's got crutches or anything like that, but that's how I was walking for a good, probably best part of a month. It was so painful. So I know exactly how you feel, mate, when you've broken your leg. It's not fun. Right, let's have a look. Thing says the Evitar was weird. Yeah, it's an unusual design, isn't it? And Jack says, why did your lives go on mute when you were on SN66WHC? I didn't intend it to go on mute, to be honest. I must have pressed it by accident. If it did, I apologise. That was unintentional. I had to turn the mute off. Well, not the mute the live off, because there was a guy sitting across the bus from me who was kept looking at me, making random comments. And of course I had my headphones on, and he was kind of looking weird at me, and I thought, okay, I'm turning this live off. I don't feel comfortable with this. I should probably have went upstairs, actually, to be honest. But yeah, I was only intending it to stream for a few minutes, because I know that between Allo and Dunfermline the phone signal can be a bit unpredictable. So I thought it might it might say buffering, or it might buffer quite a lot, which it probably did. And if it did, as I said, I apologise. Anyway, what else have we got? Chevy says, I came off my motorbike doing 50 miles an hour on 10th of December. I'm very sorry to hear that, mate. I really am. And Andrew says, great variety at Perth, Broxden. Yes, there is actually. That's why I came up here, because there's always a good variety. And Chevy says, yes, I'm okay. Yes, I am. I am just broken stuff. And Thingley, sorry if I'm calling you Thingley, just I couldn't really pronounce your channel name. He says, as long as you're okay. And Jack says, celebrating 40 years of Scottish City Link. And Chevy says, everything ever getting back on a motorbike. Oh, we've got a message held for review. What's that? Thing says, I cut my throat on a BMX because I was being daft riding it down the stairs. Yeah, we can show that. That's fine. Andrew says, ouch. And Thing says, yep, this is the emergency room basically. I've been lucky enough to never break a bone. Well, I snapped my Achilles and thought I'd pulled my hamstring as well. But until the x-ray confirmed it was my Achilles. Thankfully, that's all I've done. Apart from when I was younger. I electrocuted myself. Because I had a fascination with electric plugs when I was younger. As opposed to being autistic, that's what happens. Yes, I am autistic. But that's what happens, you know. I thought it would be a good idea to try and put a two pin plug into a 3-pin socket. I was only about 3 years old at the time, so I didn't know any better. I was lucky I didn't end up killing myself. 240 volts, boom. I can vaguely remember that. Jack says it was two lives there on mute. That was the next 22. I didn't realise they were on mute, mate. I'm sorry. I genuinely didn't realise it. I'll need to play them back and have a look at it. He says, you could have sat upstairs in it. He says, yes, I could have done. He says, if a guy kept staring at you, I felt bad for you, man. I hope you're okay. I'm fine. I wasn't bothered about him in the slightest. I was just keen to get to the Dunfermline bus station because I was kind of rushing for the toilet. I'm not saying why, but anyway. Anything else? I thought you said you snapped your Kilmarnocks. Very good, very good. Very, very good. Kilmarnocks, I get it. And he says, thing says, oh god, no. Right, well, what gonna order megabus are they cascaded to Stagecoach 5 for us up north to Inverness? Right, I forgive you, man, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. Right, I'll need to have a look at that stream. I'll possibly do that when I'm on the coach heading back to Stirling. I'll put my headphones on. Although I might be listening to some stuff on the phone. But if not, I'll have a look at it on my TV when I get home tonight, because I've got the YouTube app on my television. So I can always call it up. Yep, that's the next vehicle the next vehicle selection is saying free bus travel around Christmas time. Okay. And Christmas songs? Well, I do enjoy Christmas songs. We've got the M8 to Perth coming in just a few minutes. 7B, E3 Glasgow. And I've got quite a few that we'll still see coming up before I have to finish the stream. My favourite Christmas song would have to be Slade. Merry Christmas, everybody. Because Merry Christmas, everyone was Shakin' Stevens. The one that goes, snow is falling all around me. God, as a radio presenter, we have to play that virtually every show that I've done. But one tune that my mum loves is the Pogues, Fairy Tale of New York. That's one of our favourites. And I had Radio Scotland on when I was coming back from doing some filming last Monday. I think it was in Glasgow. Or in fact, was it Glasgow? No, I think it might have been up this way. I think I was up this way. and the Pogues suddenly came on. And I knew that if my mum was tuned into that, she would be singing her heart out to that. Mind you, she can't sing either. Neither can I. The only Christmas song I have not heard on the radio is Mistletoe and Wine, Cliff Richard. But although it has been on the radio because I played it. I played it on my programme last Friday on Cumbernauld FM when I was doing the drive time show, the recorded one. It was pre-recorded on Thursday night because I've got some equipment in the house for doing that. What other ones? The only one I don't like the one that John Lennon did with Yoko, Merry Christmas, War is Over. I don't like that. Don't like that one at all. But when it comes to actual music, I'm more into the likes of Guns N' Roses, Bryan Adams, Bon Jovi, AC/DC. Well, I don't mind AC/DC. Green Day, Oasis. You know, that's my sort of stuff. The Killers, Nickelback. But I'll tell you another band that I found, and I'll be honest, I actually like them. Fozzy. Because Chris Jericho, his lead singer, and that song Judas, that came out 2007. If you haven't heard it, you should look for it on YouTube. It is a brilliant song, especially if you like heavy rock, then you'll enjoy that. Anyway, what Flixbus have we got? Oh, what Flixbus have we got here? We've got the 7B coming back again. I think we've probably seen that one. Yeah, that's KWF. That's the same one. Drank says, Merry Christmas everyone, and they say, all by John Lennon, and Happy New Year. I like Last Christmas. Oh, that's the Wham song. Yeah, I don't mind that one. I will be honest, there is one song I do have a soft spot for. Mel and Kim's version of Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. Whenever I hear it on the radio, it's always the original version Brenda Lee did from the 60s that you hear, which is why when I play it on the radio, I play the Mel and Kim version, which is the comedian Mel Smith, who's no longer with us, who's dead now, and Kim Wilde. She also did a few other hits. Kids in America, and there was one called You Came. I thought You Came was actually probably our best song. Now, we've got a couple of messages here. Jack says, Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. Oh, that's the lyrics. This year I saved you from tears and I gave it to someone special. And then Dingo says, got to fill the Proclaim bowl again. Well, if I'm being honest, if I was sitting watching something on TV, I'd probably be eating crisps. Or maybe, I don't know, probably having my dinner. Because I sat and watched WWE SummerSlam last night, sorry. And I've still got night 2 to watch, the Sunday night, so I might watch that tonight when I get home. Because I've got Netflix. That's if I'm not too tired, that is. I might watch some of it tonight and the rest of it tomorrow. We'll see. I could actually watch it on my phone, because I can get Netflix on my phone. But I don't really tend to watch these sort of things on my phone, because the phone signal can be a bit hit and miss. And I prefer watching it on a bigger screen anyway, like the TV. Anyway, Drax says, aye, that one on the beach. The Christmas. Oh, you're thinking on, what's that song called? Cobb Tropicana. That was another one that Wham did. The video of that one was set on the beach. I don't really want to see George Michael with a six-pack. I'm not into looking at that sort of thing. A half-naked man. No thank you. Not my cup of tea. Prefer a coffee, to be honest. In fact, that's put me in the mood for a coffee right now. And I ain't going to McDonald's for a coffee, because their coffee is absolute rank. But once we see Mr. Flixbus pull away, we'll see what one that is. Yeah, well that guy earlier on was giving me weird looks on that on the SN66 WHC. I wasn't bothered about that in the slightest. You know, he could have been doing anything for all I care. But Drink says Flixbus Edinburgh or Glasgow. I don't actually know. I think it could be Glasgow, because I think it's 091. Because if it was Edinburgh, it would be 093. Sorry, 092. Well, it could be 093 actually if it's just come down from Inverness. I always get them mixed up. 091 is Aberdeen to Glasgow. 092 is Aberdeen to Edinburgh. 093 is Inverness to Glasgow. And 094 is Inverness to Edinburgh, I think. I know 090 is Glasgow to Edinburgh, because I've just completed filming for that and it's up on the channel now. Right, anyway, he says the most wonderful time of the year, Andy Williams. Yeah, I've heard that song a few times on the radio. Did I play that last week? No, I don't think I did. I might put that on the playlist for this Wednesday when I'm live on air. Anyway, I recorded myself miming an Andy Williams song, sent it to one of my mates, and let's just say I got the mickey ripped out of me. It was that one that goes, "You're just too good to be true, can't take my eyes off you." I can't remember what that one's called though. M8, Perth and Stirling. I'm not going to Stirling now because it's Perth. Well, actually on the outskirts of Perth. SF74YNA 50517. That's SG24UHO, and it doesn't actually say where it's going because the screen's not working. Looks like it's come off service. It might have been terminating here. I don't know if Flixbus actually have a service that terminates at Perth. Not that I know of. Oh well. Thing that says, can you do the 11 to Ardrossan from the Broken Gillies? What do you mean Kilmarnock? Okay, I'll screenshot that, mate, then I can at least remember it's a route that's been requested. That's fine, I can do that, not a problem. Probably looking at some time in January for that one, I think. Jack says terminates to Perth on the M90. Or there might actually be an 091 that does terminate here. There could be. Because I know there's one or two M9s that do. I would actually like to do some more stagecoach. I was going to say stagecoach West Scotland, but it's actually South Scotland. But it's always going to be West Scotland to me. Always. It's always going to be called that. Now, not much going on here at the moment, guys, so I'm sorry if it's getting a bit boring listening to me rabbiting on about songs or trying to think who sung this and who sung that. I remember when I saw these stones here and that panel fencing over them, I thought that must be to stop people sitting on them. Doesn't stop me putting my bag up there. Now, have we got anything coming in? No, we don't. It's getting a bit cold now. Not that I'm complaining, because I'm not. I'm not even feeling that hungry. Having said that, I had a foot-long spicy Italian BMT, and woman says, would you like the spicy cheese, natural cheese? And I says, yeah, and I said, I'll have it with peppers and onions, and she says, what sauce would you like? And I says, I'll go for the spicy sauce as well. I regretted that decision when I sat down to eat it. My throat was on fire when I left there. So of course I had to go and buy this at the shop next to it. That's actually not bad, that stuff, for that price. It's quite nice. So yeah, I don't really drink fizzy drinks. Oh, that reminds me, I need to get diluting juice for the house on the way home. I drink diluting juice in the house quite a lot, and I'm just about to run out. And these lights have gone down again. Right, anyway, let's get back to the messages. Jack says, oh, for goodness sake, I got that wrong. That's funny. That's not like me to get it wrong, to get things wrong. It's not like me either. Yeah, right. I've got a few things wrong. He says, I don't think that's boring. Not. And Jack says, not boring. And he says, that looks comfy, to be honest. Jack says, I remember you talking about stones with Arden. Yeah, I think we did a few times. At least I'm not getting stoned, you know. Yeah, well, that's a subject we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. And Dingo says, oh, tasty. And he says, I don't like the fizzy drinks because the fizz ruins it. He says, I don't understand how it's very popular. Well, when it comes to fizzy drinks, I never ever put ice in a fizzy drink because I find that the ice melts and the water dilutes the drink, takes the flavour away. That's what I think. That's SG24UHP there on the E3 to Glasgow. So whenever I'm having a drink, I will never ever put ice in it, even if it's 35 degrees Celsius outside. And I'm sweating like Pavarotti in a cake shop. I will never ever put ice in a drink. I might have a cold milkshake from time to time, but I will never ever put ice in a drink. Right. Drink says it's fun to not get stones thrown at you. You're right. And I says, yeah, I've had a few thrown at me before, to be honest. Dingo says, yep, it's not fun to get anything thrown at you. Can't say I've ever had anything thrown at me, to be honest. Well, a couple of snowballs. Had a snowball fight. Had a few snowball fights before, but that's all good fun. As we see SG24UHP leaving. And Dingo says, what about an iced coffee? I don't mind iced coffee. I don't mind it, but I've got to be in the mood for it. I'm not keen on iced tea. You know, especially that Lipton's iced tea. I'm not keen on that. It's like, when it comes to music, there's a few groups I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of My Chemical Romance. I can't stand the band Embrace, the song All You Good Good People. Oh my god, I absolutely hate that song. Robbie Williams, can't stand him either. I just think he's so overrated. Sorry if there's any Robbie fans out there. I'm not saying he's not a nice guy. He's probably one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet. We probably would get along if we met in real life, but I'm just not a fan of his music. I'm not. There's other songs out there that I don't particularly enjoy. Trying to think. I'm not a huge fan of stuff like Cardi B or Eminem. That's just not my cup of tea. And when requests for them come in on the radio, I think, oh dear, 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 dear. But thankfully I don't get that many of them. Right, I'm itching the side of my face now. The thing that says that's fun. I'm watching you live on my iPad because my phone's charging. That's what Jack says. Oh, that's cool. The thing that says I like Lipton iced tea. Have you seen Mike Roch? It's my friend. No, I haven't actually. I'll take a screenshot of that, then I'll remember. Sorry if the picture's going a bit wobbly. I was just taking a screenshot on my phone then. I'll remember to have a look at his channel. I haven't seen that channel before. And thing was, I don't like Taylor Swifty. I'm not a Swifty either, to be honest. I don't mind the song Anti-Hero. I don't mind one or two of her songs. You know? And you just said my crotch. It's a prank. Oh, okay. Very good. I don't normally fall for tricks. Like if somebody says to me, "Oh look, you've got a hole in your t-shirt," I'm like, "Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay." Or if they say, "Look, you dropped something, you dropped your wallet," and I'm like, "No, I didn't, because my wallet's in my jacket pocket." I don't fall for tricks like that. But no, I used to play a trick. I've got a colleague who I work beside. He's also called Jack. He lives in the Cumbernauld area. Hello if you're watching, pal. And I used to love playing tricks on him. When we used to work beside each other on a Saturday. He doesn't do Saturdays on the radio anymore. I just do it on my own now. And we did a football show when I would be reading out the scores. And I used to maybe say the odds. I used to turn the speakers in the on-air studio right down and turn the headphones right down, so there was no audio being heard by him. He would be through in the off-air studio doing whatever he had to do, and I would maybe say a little swear word, and I would say that's Celtic to I don't know, Old Farts nil. I know farts isn't a swear word, but I can't really swear on YouTube, obviously, even though I did say SHAT earlier on. But anyway, he would look at me with a look of sheer shock and say, "You didn't just say that on air." And I would always say, "Microphones are on mute and speakers are on mute as well. Gotcha!" But anyway, what have we got here? Volvo 9700DD, S-Drive 24HWV on the M9. See, that one's terminating here. Well, Perth bus station, which is about 3 miles from here. There are some M9s that do terminate here. But as I was saying, I'll focus more on the coach when I'm walking towards it. I used to play that trick on him, and I can't say what he used to call me. But he used to call me something, a word that rhymes with plastered. It starts with the letter B. He used to say, "You plastered." That was so funny. Every time I did it, he fell for it. Every single time. So yeah, I do like to play the odd trick on people. I think I'm probably being watched from the ticket office. They're looking at this guy prancing up and down, just live streaming with his phone. But they know I do buses. They know I do. I should probably actually have got permission before doing this, but you know what? Other YouTubers don't do it, so why should I? Drax says, "Do you have iPhone 17? No, actually I don't. I'm not an iPhone person, if I'm being honest. I'm a Samsung guy. It's a Samsung S. No, it's not an S. It's a Samsung A36. I've got. I used to have the A54, but I got upgraded to the A36, which is a better phone, I would say. So I sold my 54. Got 120 quid for it, so that wasn't bad. And Jack says, "Okie dokie," and thing says, "I know what you mean." And Jack also says, "Samsung A54 was what I had, but I've now got A36." And thing says, "I don't really care, as long as it works, then it doesn't bother me. A phone's a phone." Well, that's true. That is very true. I've got a tablet, which I couldn't even tell you what model it is, because I bought it brand new from the network. I don't even have it with me, because it's back in the house at the moment. It's on charge, because I might be taking it to Glasgow with me tomorrow. But I can't live stream on that, because it doesn't have a SIM card. It's got 2 SD cards in it, but no SIM card, because if I put a SIM card in it, then whatever network I choose for the SIM card would charge me. I'd have to pay something like probably so much per day, and I'd only be able to live stream for so long, because it would use so much data. So that's why I've got this phone with the SIM deal, and a new phone every 2 years, and I'm paying about what, 50, I think it's about £50 a month, roughly. Because I've got a combined deal. I've got my internet through BT and I've got EETV as well. So I've got a combined deal through them, the Sky Sports, the whole football bundle, and it's about £90 a month all in for the whole thing. I think that's a bloody good deal. It might sound expensive, but it's a bloody good deal. I know bloody is a word I shouldn't really say on here. Tut tut Gallivanter, naughty boy. Well, nothing coming and going here at the moment, I'm afraid, folks, so we've got this one for Perth. What else have we got? Let's have a look at the screen. This car, I thought that car was on full beam there, blinded me. It's just the way its headlights are adjusted. Anyway, oh, you'll see the 913 coming in just a moment. I've heard rumours, whether it's true or not, that's back under Stagecoach control. Stagecoach are now doing that. I've no idea what depot from, but I'm thinking possibly Cowdenbeath, or it might even be Dunfermline. I don't know. It might even be in Vanamond, which isn't far from here actually. It's about maybe about 2-3 miles from here. So yeah, I've only been past the depot once on a CityLink coach, and that was when the drivers had to swap over and the driver didn't arrive here. I don't know how long ago that was, or what even, where I was. I think I was going to Inverness that day. Can't remember why though. Probably something to do with buses, knowing me. Well, this could be the 913 coming in now. Let's see. Yes, it is. And it's the Elite S-72HMP, so I can confirm 54367 operating it, that it is now back under CityLink, and well, it is under CityLink control, of course it is. It is now back under Stagecoach control because this vehicle is based at Vanamond. So I think that it will go into Edinburgh and then either come back not in service, or it will do an M90 terminating at either here or at Perth bus station. Something tells me I think it's more likely to be doing an M90 terminating at Perth bus station. And on the M10 we have the Yutong GT12 B23 MCL. Look at your messages in a few minutes, guys, I promise. I'm not going to take a seat on this because it might look comfy, but it looks cold, and to be honest it doesn't look that comfortable to me, so not happening, I'm afraid. Now what one have we got here? E3 Dundee Ember. That is SG25HZC. I'm certainly getting my steps in here. I was sitting at just over 2,000 steps when I boarded the Flixbus from Hallbeath, and I'm going to take a guess that I'm probably about 2,500 by now. I'm aiming to do about 6,000 steps per day. As long as I consume less calories than what I burn, I'll lose weight. That's what I'm trying to do. Still got a few stone to lose. Right, let's have a look at the messages. Drax says A54 and A36, and is it a Samsung tablet too? No, it's a Lenovo. It's a Lenovo tablet. It's quite a basic one, but it's only got 12 gig of memory on it, hence why it's got the SD cards in it, because the memory on it is pretty poor. And he says, I have a weird camera, if it kind of looks like this one, but all black. Ah, okay. And Dragon says, it's after 7 at night, mate, 7:20 to specify. And he goes on to say, is that 093 or M93? I don't think we have it. We haven't got an M93 now, mate, to be honest, because they used to have an M93, I think. Where did it go? It was Edinburgh to... I can't remember. No, I've never heard of a place called, can't remember. I honestly can't remember where it went. There was an M93, I do remember it. But they took it off quite a few years ago. I think it was before COVID even. Before COVID. So, yeah, well, it's cool with the time. I know it's just gone 7:20, but I'll keep the live stream going until the M8 going to Glasgow comes in. And then I'll say cheerio to you there from there. Because obviously if I'm live streaming on the coach, then the signal's going to buffer like hell, and it technically won't be a live stream at Broxden because we'll have left by then. I mean, I could keep the stream going, I suppose, but nah, I'll switch it off once the coach comes in. Pity it isn't going to be one of those. Well, it might still be one of those elites, you never know. Yes, you're right, it has been withdrawn. I don't remember where it went though. Thing was this, who keeps spamming reactions? Haven't a clue. I don't really bother. Now, as long as they're not being nasty, I don't really bother. I'm quite an easygoing type of guy, to be honest. I'm just interested in where Mr. Flixibus is off to. I think that'll be Edinburgh, because I was looking at possibly going back via Dunfermline, and I did see there was a Flixbus due at a roundabout. Well, not at an actual roundabout, but there was one due at about 7:30. I think it's that one. Not that I'm going to get it, because I'm not. Something smells strongly of diesel around here. I've got a feeling it could be that elite, or maybe the Yutong. I remember getting on the Gills Gemini SV08 FXT, and honestly, this was sounding very, very throaty a couple of weeks ago, and the stink of diesel coming off it, oh my god, it would make you sick. It was making me feel sick. Those diesel fumes do not mix with me. I don't mind the smell of petrol fumes, I'm fine with that. If it's like an old car, an old vintage car, and there's a strong smell of like petrol or diesel, or petrol coming off it especially. Diesel, no. Because it reeks. Well, I think that's a 913 just pulling up, getting ready to go now. And my hands are getting cold. But I said I'll keep this stream open until the coach came in, and I'm a guy who keeps his word. Going back to the messages, and Jack says, oh god, that's said about the M83 being withdrawn. Imagine if AKO takes you on that service, Y64 AKO. I wouldn't mind, to be honest, because I like the Scanias. I genuinely do. And I just think they stopped that now. Jack says probably. He says it might be the City-linked buses. No, the Streetlight AKO. Yeah. I think I'd rather have an interdeck over the Streetlight, and that's saying something. I don't know why my voice just suddenly went like that. I don't know. Jack says I had a sore throat. And he says, what a shame. Yeah, it was annoying. My voice went weird. And Jack says 913 Fort William to Edinburgh. Then says not seen that Chevy guy for a little while. No, I haven't either. Hope he's okay, to be honest. Hope he's alright. Hope everyone's okay, to be honest. Don't know why I'm prancing up. I don't know why I started walking up towards the car park there. I was waiting to see this going away. Gallivanter, you're a stupid idiot. should be, I think it doesn't depart until 7:40, that one, so. Oh, we've got another one coming in. Yutong GT12. That's the only three type of vehicles that FlixBus seem to have. Yutong GT12s, Volvo 9700s, and Mercedes Turismos. I don't recall them having anything else. Unless they've got other vehicles abroad, maybe. Jack says, I'm okay, feel for the poor guy. And I said, me too. Thing says, who the bleep said that? Hope he recovers soon. And Jack says, loving the FlixBuses tonight. Certainly glad that you're enjoying them, mate. We'll see more of them tomorrow in Glasgow. And thing says, the GT12s are the best diesel buses Yutong will ever make. Yes, I'll agree with you on that one. I still prefer diesel over electric though. But, and I say this with a big but, not that I've got a big but, I'm not going to go into that sort of thing. I still prefer the Yutong E12 over Yutong T12 over GT12. I still prefer the electric ones over that. It's true, even though I prefer diesel over electric in general. Thing that says the GT12s are the last diesel the last diesel buses Yutong will ever make. Jack says I probably know the last, not best, and he says what the heck, that Escalade. Actually, I've been hearing, and I think I've mentioned it on this channel a few times, sometime, it might be next year or 2027, there's a GT14 coming. Yutong GT14. So I reckon FlixBus will get those. They might even replace some of the older Turismos with those. It's a possibility. Other operators like McLean's might go for them as well. CityLink might even take note about that as well. It's possible. Right, I'll get across here. I think better get into position for the M8 now, I think. Well, what time is it? Let's have a look. 7:32 now, we're okay. These two green monsters will be departing soon. The Chinese dude and his Swedish brother in front of him. Now, I can't say too much about that, obviously, for obvious reasons. I'm not racist. Never have been, never will be. I hate racism with a passion. Anyway. Drax says, what about GTA 6? Yes, they keep putting that game off for Grand Theft Auto. They do. I won't be, well, if you do watch what I do on GamerDuder, which is my other YouTube channel for online gaming streams, I won't be doing any live streams tonight on that, because by the time I get home, get some dinner, I think I'll probably just be ready to watch a bit of TV and then go to bed. So there won't be any live streaming on that one tonight, and probably not tomorrow night either. So it'll probably be Wednesday at the earliest before I do any more live streaming over on GamerDuder. But on this channel, it'll be different. Right, Thingley says in 2026 the Enviro 200 EV is coming out to go with the 100 and 400 and 500 EV. I think we've already got, oh, the 200 EV. Yes, that's right. That's right, I was hearing about that. It's the 100 EV that I keep getting mixed up with. See, we've got an Enviro EV coming round now. LG23 FHW. Because that's actually a 200 EV that right there. It's the 100 EV that's coming out, I think, isn't it? I believe so. I don't think they're doing the 300 anymore. I think Dennis have stopped building the Dennis Enviro 300. I don't recall seeing one for years. Now, these two are not going to go anywhere anytime soon, I don't think so. Oh, Mr. Citylink's disappeared. Oh well. Yep, that's LG23 FHW sitting right there. Then it says, what's the official name for GamerDuder, and can you add the shortcut to your main channel? Yes, I can add the shortcut, not a problem. It's just GamerDuder, that's what it's called. I only do online gaming for like Grand Theft Auto and what other games do I play on there? Fortnite. Very occasionally WWE. But I don't have any WWE games downloaded on my console at the moment. Jack's saying on the 7B. Yep, I've actually done the 7B route for the channel. He then goes on to say no, the 200 EV. I think it says, yeah, I don't know why though. And it says brown logo icon. I think I see it. I think it says you should play OMSI too. Yes, I'll need to get that. It's Bus Simulator. I've got bus. There's a bus game I've got for the PlayStation, but I'll be honest, it is absolute garbage. But I don't have OMS. I've got one called Bus Simulator, which isn't bad, but I've got another one. It cost me 12 quid, and I can't remember the name of it now. But it's like buses I've never even heard of. They're not based on like real names. Oh, I know they can't base them on real names for copyright reasons, but it's absolute garbage. Waste of money. I think it's just called OMSI. The one that you were talking about, OMSI 2. But the bus game that I'm talking about, I can't remember what it's called. But the design on the front of it, looks like a Mercedes Citaro. Not a Citaro, the 200 EV. But it's complete and utter garbage. It's a waste of money. Don't like it. But I will certainly give OMSI a try, for sure. Well, to be honest, I'm not bothered if a 9700DD comes round there displaying M8 Glasgow via Perth and Stirling, and it's for me. Doesn't bother me. I'm cool with that. I just want to see these two green monsters go, but they're not going, and I've been live streaming now for nearly 1 hour and 40 minutes. Doesn't seem that long. Does not seem that long at all. It's just coming up 20 to 8. I'm going to have to get into position for the M8, to be honest, and I'll have to connect my phone to the charger pretty soon again because I'm down to 37% now. Well, hopefully these two should leave in the next 5 minutes. I'm going to say, Jack, you still here? Yeah, I think he's still here, mate. Might be away doing something just now, I don't know. I know what I'll be doing when I get home. I'll be making my dinner, having something to eat. I'm starting to get a wee bit hungry now. I think that taxi thought I was waiting for it, but as I said, I don't really use taxis that much. Oh, if you're ever in this area, by the way, and you're looking for the pathway to get down to the petrol station, don't know if I can zoom in. That's it there. See where that grey car's parked? To the right of it, that's the pathway there. Oh my god. I don't like doing zooms when I'm doing lives because my phone starts playing up. Right, on the 192 to Edinburgh, it's SI23HVH. And that's LC71KWE on the 7B. We might do a live in Perth on Friday. I'll see. I'll see how things go. That'll be going to... that could be going anywhere, that Flixbus over there. I'm just watching for my M8 coming in. Because if it's going to come in soon, then I'll need to dart for it. Oh, excuse me. Jack says, can I wait for Friday? Are you doing something special on Friday, mate? Hope you're doing something nice. And that is SG24UHW on the 093 to Glasgow. That's just come down from Inverness. Thing says same because then I get a day off. I had a day off from doing a lot of bus spotting yesterday. My next one will be... when will I next give myself time off? It'll probably be Christmas. I'll probably be doing lives and recorded stuff every day between now and then. I will probably feel a bit burnt out after that. But hey, I've got a couple of days to spend with family. Because I'm spending Christmas with family. Going away Christmas Eve and I'm back on the 28th. We're going down to Haddington on Boxing Day for a couple of days. Got family down there. Then away again on the 30th. Back down to Haddington again because I'm coming home for a couple of days. And then we're away again on the 30th, then I'll be coming back. Possibly 5th of January, might be the 4th. Right, let's have a quick look at the messages. This is enjoying my 2 weeks off. Next week and the following week. It's always good to get time off, isn't it? There's emojis I've never seen. Drax is saying, yeah, I don't really do emojis, to be honest. I might send a laughing emoji if it's something on social media, or an angry one if it annoys me, which it doesn't really annoy me very often. Like 69 LCC on M9 to Aberdeen. Thing says, can you do lives while you're away on holiday? Yes, I can. Can do. I'm planning to do a little one on Christmas Day. Not one as long as this, maybe 5-10 minutes. Go for a little walk. Might not be able to do much on Boxing Day. 27th should be okay to do one. But as I was going to say, just keep a watch out on the channel, or just do them when I can. Jack says, do you remember YY65VXO X Megabus? Vaguely, I think. What we've got coming in now? It's a 9700DD. M90 Inverness, that's not mine. I thought that was my mate there. SF74YND 50520. Tomorrow when I'm in Glasgow, I'm going to do a mixture of lives and recorded stuff. The plan is to maybe try and get about 30 or 40 videos recorded. I'm not going to do 30-40 lives, don't worry about that. It'll be one live and it'll be one continuous one. Maybe do a couple of little short lives on the way through. The reason I do that is because you only get 100 uploads per day on YouTube if you're recording stuff, whereas your lives don't count towards that. Nah. If I were to upload 100 videos today, which I haven't done so far, if I was to upload 100 pre-recorded videos, I wouldn't be able to upload anymore, but I would still be able to go live, which I find a bit strange. You know, it's strange how it works that way, but it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. So that's why part of the reason why I do these lives, because it doesn't affect the number of uploads that I'm doing. But I seem to get more views on the recorded ones than I do on lives, but I only tend to do lives if they're going to be over 2 or 3 minutes long. Right, going back towards the messages. It says 3US TOF. Huh? Yeah, I'm seeing how that as well. I don't know what that means. Drake says it was moved to Melon Travel with its own number plate URD923. Ah, okay. And Drake says, do you remember YJ14LFM? Ex-Megabus, Vanilla Astromega? Certainly do, mate. I love the Astromegas. And I was after one for a short video on board it. I think it could have been that one before it left the Stagecoach fleet. And then it says there's the limit. And I said, yep, there's a 100 limit upload on YouTube, which personally I think that's a bit naff, you know. It's a bit negative. I don't think negatively about things, but anyway. This is the Stagecoach West Scotland former Oxford Tube livery. Yes, because a lot of these panoramas, the Citylink panoramas went down to Oxford. I might try and get down there at some point. I don't know if it'll be next year, but I'm planning to get down there to do some spotting for them. Oxford, possibly areas in London, but you want to be mega careful in London when bus spotting, because phone snatching is very common down there. You have got to be extremely careful. Jack says now it's ESU 812 and the Melon Travel livery. Ah, I didn't know that. And it says Vanilla Astromega TDX 27. Yep, that's the one. Now, I've got a message yourself to review. Let's have a look. Yes, it is a little bit. You're right, mate. It's a little bit poor. And it says your phone might get stolen. Yes, that's a very possibility. So I will be careful if I do go down there. I will be very careful. And it says I hate those people. Yes, I do as well. And Jack says, have you seen the Melon Travel buses before, mate? One of them is at St Columbus High School. Yes, I did see it somewhere. They're filming somewhere, possibly. Can't remember when though. Oh, is that a mouse? I sworn I'd seen a mouse there, going under that bin. Pretty rubbish. Oh well. Just like my jokes. M8 due 750, which is in 2 weeks time, and 90 due, well that's gone. I've got a funny feeling that my M8s might go up beside this M8 here. Or possibly behind it, or it could go up behind it because there's plenty of space there. I think this is possibly one of the longest live streams I've ever done on this channel. Not the longest, because I think the longest one I've done was about 2.5 hours. 2 hours 40, maybe something like that. Thing says, grab it back, flip them off as the cherry on top. Okay. SC1, SC2, SC3, SC4 and SC10 mill and travel at St Columbus High School. Ah, okay. Love to get pictures of them, but obviously if we're going to be picking up school kids, that's a no-no for me. That's a no-go area. Broxden panoramas are Volvo 9700 DDs. Panoramas all day for me. All day. And things is no, it was the train station one with Arden, and you went on the E400 EV. That was ages ago. That was ages ago. That was at least a year ago. At least a year ago. I think that one was possibly about 3 hours long. Could it have been maybe longer than that? I can't remember. I've done that many lives, I can't remember. Because I had a look at my laptop last night, and the channel's got just almost 17,000 videos on it. I reckon I'll probably get to that level by Christmas. Not that I'm aiming to, because I'm not. I just upload something when I want to upload it. But it's 4 years old now, the channel. Crikey is. Hardly seems 4 years I've been doing this stuff. Doesn't seem like it at all. Like 69 LCC just pulling away there. Don't know where this M8 of mine is, but it's late. Mind you, M8's usually late. I was waiting for it the other day in Stirling, 11:05 I think it was, and it didn't come in until about 25 past. I know there's roadworks, well there was some quite bad roadworks between Perth and Dundee. I think they've now finished. Can you hear something that sounds like a coach possibly on the bottom road? Well, good hearing as well. Well, so I've been told. Oh God, bus, please hurry up, come, I am getting cold. And I ain't going in there, because if I go in there I know what will happen. The minute I set foot in there, the bus will arrive. That's what always happens. But I'll get home, put my central heating on. In fact, I can do that on my phone. So I might program it when I get to Stirling. Because when I get to Stirling, I'll have to get the 51, possibly, which goes a long way around for me. That doesn't get it, that takes about 40 minutes. Or I could walk up to Sainsbury's, get something for my dinner, then catch the 9:20 52, which gets me home in about 25 minutes. Either way, they're both still going to get me home around about the same time, because the 51 goes at 8:50 and 52 is at 9:20, and they both take around about, well, 51 takes about 45 minutes. But I would rather go to Sainsbury's than pay the co-op's prices in Tillicutry. I don't really have much in the house at the moment. I'm not really one for cooking that much. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy cooking. Anyway, let's go back to the messages. Where was I? I say yes, because parents don't like when you take pictures of their kids. I would never ever do that. Never. I would never ever do that. That's why I don't do school routes on this channel. I don't do school routes like say SC1, SC3. I don't do that. Nope. I don't do that at all. 324. That's different. That's McGill's. That's Bannockburn. Well, Stirling. $2. That's a public service route that terminates at school. It then turns to go back in service to Stirling. I have done Stirling $2 when it was going to the school, when it was going there in the afternoon. I got off before it got to the school, about 2 stops before. That's when I got off, before the terminus. See? Not daft. And on the return journey, where did I get off on the return journey? I haven't done the return journey yet. But yeah, I did the return journey. Well, I'll be doing the return journey soon, but I'll be getting on Dollar Main Street when it's coming back in the morning after dropping them off at school. Anyway, I don't have any 700DD on the M8. I just spotted that at the corner of my eye. That will do me nicely. Right, folks. Hey, 2 seconds. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong one. Sorry, this is the wrong one. I thought this was the one going to Glasgow. Sorry. Sorry about that. Yes, you can have a laugh at my expense. I thought it was a bit strange that HNR was coming in for Glasgow at this time. I nearly got on the wrong coach. How embarrassing. And it says, Jack says, do you know...
spot the stance numbers?
I haven't a clue, to be honest. What bus are you waiting for?
M10.
M10.
It said stance 2, but I don't know.
Stance 2. It'll be one of these ones here. Because the M10 CityLink, it'll be coming in just shortly, I would imagine. There's a little sign down there beside that lamppost that it tells you what time they're due, because I'm not sure about the M10. I'm not from this area, I'm afraid.
Where you headed? You headed to
Stirling.
Stirling.
I know that one says Perth via Stirling, but it's just come from Stirling.
Oh yeah, I'm heading for Inverness.
The one I'm wanting is the one that says Glasgow via Stirling.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sorry about that. Even when doing lives, I still don't mind being a help to people. See, that's me. That's what I'm like as a person. Jack says, do you know what time your M8's coming? Yeah, it should be here by now. I actually thought that was it. I was about to get on it. Clearly, it's not mine. And it's probably just as well that I didn't. Because I would have ended up at Perth bus station. And that would have caused probably quite a bit of amusement amongst my mates if I told them that. They'd be like, oh, you got on the wrong bus, didn't you? You ended up at Perth bus station. Yeah. And? That's a bit like my Santa Claus impersonation or my Elvis impersonation. I'd rather no, Mama. I'll think of it much. Now, this is the correct one coming in. Yes, that says Glasgow M8, and it's an Elite, so I'm quite pleased with that. But it's not as bad as my Santa Claus one, which is like, Merry Christmas. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that just now, because I'm going to get the utter Mickey ripped out of me for that. Not that I mind, because I don't mind. Now, where is he coming into? He's coming up the side of it, I think. Right, 2 seconds, folks. Second time lucky. LSK 506. That'll do me nicely. Oh, right, no worries. Right. Oh, I just want to stop on, please.
Still?
Yes, please. That's smashing, thank you. Oh, bus is dead as well. That one's terminating at Perth bus station, I'm afraid. I think the Aberdeen bus has just gone as well. Yes, it's very blue in here. And anyway, folks, I'm going to say cheerio for now, and I'll do a little recorded video and upload it when we're halfway down the A9, I mean. And I'll speak to you tomorrow.